This is an indie movie that came out in 2019 by the Pierce brothers. Has like disturbia element to it. It's basically about a kid that believes that a witch is living next door to him. And I really like movies that like Fright Night and like that 80s throwback
Mhm.
kind of stuff. They have like about the whole like nosy neighbor thing. The Burbs is a great movie with Tom Hanks that went really dark for a PG movie and could have become a full-blown horror movie if it wanted to. But I just like kind of stuff like that, like neighbors being nosy with each other, find out what's going on, depending on how much they let the audience know. Sometimes they let the audience know, sometimes they don't. And this one they do from the get go. But it's cool, and they're like a lot of it has some great practical effects, like especially with the witch when they turn her into a full blown creature. Um, the fact that they go after people right away and kill them from the very beginning makes you as an audience member very aware that like anybody could die at any time. It sort of does like that Game of Thrones element too, and I like that
Yeah.
too because it's nothing is safe. This is not like a PG-13 Fright Night throwback. This is a full on
Yeah.
R-rated creepy 80s Fright Night throwback.
Yeah. And that's kind of I mean, it's a good film. It's a good tactic to use. I mean, famously Scream used it with Drew Barrymore.
Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Killing her right out of the gate in the
Right.
opening
Yeah.
scene. Like everyone's like, "Oh, Drew Barrymore's in this
Mm-hmm.
movie," and they kill her within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you knew, like, okay, no one's safe. It's a cool tactic to kind of kill someone early. And now the more you talk about it, I think I've seen Wretched, but I think I saw it years ago. Like, I think it came out a while ago.
Well,
Totally
this
rings a
one, there's
bell.
a couple movies with the name Wretched. This one came out 2019, so it's not that old.
Oh yeah, yeah, cool. No, I think the nosy neighbor next door. It's also good because you can confine your spaces. I think of a lot of movies that are in that where it's like typically the way they're shot is they're finding a little
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood somewhere, usually on a alcove somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You really are only shooting in one neighborhood and with a
Right.
couple of houses, and you can kind of contain the whole thing. And you get the neighbors, which discovers that they're the guys living next to them are serial killers or
Right. Uh-huh.
vampires or whatever. And you actually are able to keep your sets down and give it's good from a cost perspective when they're shooting, right?
Yeah, and what works too is that like in all just like those 80s throwback movies, all the adults usually like focuses on like a teenage kid and they're right and everybody else is like doesn't understand them. So that's kind of like what's going on in your mind when you're in high school. All the parents like don't have a clue like what's going on, and the audience knows what's going on from the beginning because they're being shown it. So you're like, as a viewer, going like, why don't the parents understand what they're going through? And then like, so it has that kind of element to it as well too, where it will connect with that younger audience for it.
Yeah, awesome.